Good morning and welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. It is September 1st, so officially in my mind it's fall. I don't care how hot it is. I will now slide back into jeans and find boots and booties and long sleeve shirts because I'm the girl who starts wearing flip-flops the second the weather gets above like 70 degrees in the spring. I'm like, oh, summer's here. And I'm the girl who goes back into booties September 1st. Because in my mind, it's fall. So I wanted to tell you guys, I went out to dinner with some girlfriends and we were talking about our kids and catching up. And two of the moms at the table shared their experiences. Now, school just started. It's been, 3 weeks here in Alabama. About Mean Girls already starting. And so one of the moms was telling me the story about how, something happened where a mean girl basically, had her little clique. And when this mom's daughter and one or two other girls or whatever wanted to play, they basically shut them down. You can't play with us. Typical mean girl. We control the play space and you can't come into it. I know that space. I know both sides of it. I know being the one who is not allowed to play. And then I know the space of being the one to tell others that they're not allowed to play. And the transfer of power is where my mom did me a disservice. I didn't have the tools to do it better, right? When I realized that girls were being mean to me, kids were being mean to me, that I wasn't allowed to play, what they were essentially saying is, Jamie, you are not good enough. Whatever it is we think we need today, you don't meet the criteria. So you are not good enough. And if they didn't tell me why, if they didn't say you can't play because you're stupid or you can't play because you're fat or whatever, I was left up to my own devices to figure out why I wasn't good enough. And when a child goes off alone, trying to figure out why they're not good enough, it damages them. I'm going to tell you that right now. It damages them. What tools you have as an adult, you do not have as a child. And it breaks you. Some kids don't deal with that very well. So they either become very sad and withdrawn, self-loathing, depressed, or maybe even worse to some degree, they become like me, full of anger, rage, seeking my own power by my own methods. And I then became the person who swore I would never, ever, ever allow anybody to make me feel that small again. So without the proper tools, without any guidance on how to channel that feeling, because it's not unhealthy to say you don't want anyone to make you feel small again. It's what you do with that sentiment that makes it unhealthy. That was a prime opportunity for somebody to step in and teach me how to be an includer. Instead, I became a bully and found power and self-esteem in controlling the environment. Who gets to sit with who gets to hang out, who gets to whatever. I was the boss. And that was how I ensured I would never feel that small again, by making others feel small. Because I didn't know. Nobody taught me. So when I hear stories like this now, I want to push moms further. Well, what was the lesson? More often than not, the lesson is, well, I just told them to ignore it. I told them to walk away. I told them to just play by themselves. That is not the lesson. That was my lesson. Just ignore them, Jamie. Just play by yourself. Yeah, that's what a kid wants to hear. After you feel like you've been kicked in the stomach, just go off and be by yourself. Okay, I could see how that'll make me feel better, Mom. Not. I'm not slighting my mom. It was the early 80s, and she didn't know any different. They didn't have, like, bullying. It was a different time. My mom was, suck it up, Jay. You're a third kid. Get out there and go play by yourself. You'll be great. It was a different time. I'm not angry at her, but I do feel like I owe it to my children to make sure that I am putting out every bit of information I have from my experience into the universe so that other people can know better and do better. You can take what we talk about in Coffee Talk and apply it to your life or not. You can share it, which I hope you do, or not. But I do feel like I have an obligation to help people do it better. So people say to me, well, what should I tell my kid when they come home and they've been excluded, bullied, told they can't play? You can't poo-poo their feelings. And you can talk about that hurt people hurt. That is the truth. Mean girls start from mean moms. Not every single time, but almost every time. Not every single time, but almost every time. That is the truth. That mean girls come from usually two places: mean moms or other mean girls. Most girls don't start out as mean girls. It comes from somewhere. They learn it from an older sibling or from other girls or mean moms. Here is the greatest thing you can do for your child and for other children. Remember, we're all in this together. It takes a village. It's not just about what goes on in our home. It can't be anymore. It used to be that way in the 80s. My mom shut the door at 6 o'clock at night for dinner, and what went on in our house was what went on in our house. It is not that way anymore. We are raising each other's children because our children are constantly being exposed to what's going on in our children's lives via Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, Instagram, social media. So the bullying doesn't stop on the playground. The kids can then log on at night and see how they're being excluded in chat rooms and pictures and parties and all of these things. So what I teach my child will directly affect your child and vice versa, which is why we talk about this. When your child is excluded or bullied, teach them to be an includer. Take that time to teach them, to let them feel what it feels like to be excluded so that you send them into the world being an includer. Teach them how to look for kids who don't have friends, who walk around the cafeteria trying to find a place to sit, who stand out on the playground kicking dirt because nobody's asked them to play anything. Let it be your child who gets up and says, do you want to play? Do you want to sit? If we don't teach our children to be includers, we will continue to live in a society of excluders, constantly making each other to feel like we're not good enough. And that is not the truth. Because if you and I are good enough just as we are, then you can be damn sure our children are good enough the way that they are. Teach your child to be brave enough to be an includer. Because if they are includers as children, they will be includers as adults. Think about how many times you've been to a new parent function, a parent-teacher night, a new job, even a waiting room in a doctor's office where nobody speaks to you and you're an adult and you think this is the most uncomfortable thing. I feel gross. I don't want to sit in a place where I'm invisible. I speak to everybody. I invite everybody. I hug everybody. I am an includer because I was I know how it feels to be excluded, but I spent so much time being someone who excludes people that I made it my mission when I learned better to become the includer. Teach your children when they are excluded or bullied, take that opportunity to teach them compassion for others. Channel the feeling that they're feeling and say, you don't ever want to feel this way again. Instead of getting depressed or angry, I want you to channel that into becoming an includer and invite people into your life. When you invite good people into your life, you will be surrounded by good people. This is the greatest lesson we can teach our children. I love you so much today. Have a great day.